Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again. I hope you're well, sending lots of love your way. Today we're talking boobies, or I should say, Forgotten Gialli, with this box set, Volume 4 from Vinegar Syndrome here on this box set Sunday. Hold on tight, because there's plenty of lady flesh on display, as well as severed flesh, bloody flesh, all that good stuff on display with this box set. But overall, is this worth your money? Is this worth your time? Well, let's talk about it.
Back from the dead.
This box set comes with 3 movies. They are Arabella, Black Angel, the sister of Ursula, and The Killer Is Still Among Us. All new to me, so I was very happy to go through them, but trepidatious, because I'll be honest, I'm a little burnt out on Italian films, specifically after the debacle that was the Camille Keaton Italy shitfest that I disliked completely. So I was very, 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 very scared to open this up and go into it. But it's part of my subscription. I had it. What am I going to do? I've paid for it. I've got to watch it. And maybe you care to hear what I have to say. So let's start with the first movie. I'm going to go in the order that I watched it, the order according to the box here. Arabella, Black Angel. Beautiful Arabella is an insatiable nymphomaniac with a crippled writer husband, Francesco, who is unable to pleasure her. Instead, Arabella searches for lovers in illicit dens of debauchery, betting an endless array of men. However, when her husband discovers her having sex with a stranger in their shed, Arabella panics and kills the man, only to discover that her sudden act of violence arouses creative inspiration in her Francesco. Covering up the crime, Francesco asks his wife to further explore her sexual fantasies and report back on her experiences. Unfortunately, Arabella's lovers are subsequently visited by someone else, a vengeful murderer who violently castrates them. This is a sexy fucking movie. I'll tell you what, this is probably the sleaziest goddamn movie I've seen in a long while. I mean, so sleazy, in fact, that I'm shocked Severin didn't put it out. I mean, this is sleazy as hell. The first 15 minutes is probably the sleaziest thing I've ever seen ever, and then the rest of the movie tops it, for various reasons. The main actress in this, oh my god, what a delicious morsel of female flesh she is. She is wonderful. Not only performance-wise, but booby-wise. She's got fantastic rack. But I digress. The movie here is not only helped by the fantastic amounts of female flesh, but by a really solid script, which shocked the fuck out of me. I was expecting some shit, and I got a fairly competent movie. Very well directed, very well structured. And I'm a structure fan. As a screenwriter, that's the thing I look for, structure. Very well structured, very well laid out, never a dull moment, and that's a plus. When it comes to Giallo, sometimes they just drag, and there's a movie on here that does do that. We'll talk about that later. But this one did not drag. Every scene either had fantastic nudity or a cool kill scene. I would say there's definitely more nudity than kill scenes in here. It definitely leans more into the sex stuff than it does, the slaughter stuff. But the slaughter stuff is there, and it's juicy. It is pretty quick. Doesn't really linger on the kill stuff like it does on the nudity. And honestly, that's fine by me. I would rather see this lovely young lady expose her fantabulous bosom plentiful times than watching people get killed. It's definitely more fun to watch nudity. But this movie has it all. And I highly recommend it. I think this is a really solid-ass movie. And it really excited me to see what this box set had in store. Because, god dang it, there's plenty of wonderful nudity in this entire box set. But this movie is definitely the top of the pops when it comes to that. And, honestly, it's my favorite one in the box set. I will tell you that right now. It's going to get the highest marks. This is essentially the story of a woman who is helping her crippled husband. And that's all I'm going to say. Shocks around every corner, nips around every corner, and some pretty cool kill scenes around those corners as well. Tons of corners. This movie's full of fucking corners, and it's a lot of fun. 4 stars. Arabella, Black Angel. I think that's probably the highest rating I've ever given anything out of the Forgotten Gialli box set. I will say this is my favorite box set, Forgotten Gialli-wise, to come out of Vinegar Syndrome. Really great, really great. Better than the first one, better than all three, honestly. But I for the most part, enjoyed all three movies on here. They're not going to be all as high as Arabella. Arabella is definitely the standout, and the only one I would rewatch. And you're right, I wouldn't rewatch it for the plot.
Oh my.
Next up, Baby Duck, the sister of Ursula. This one's a little slower, a little quieter, a little more measured, a little more leisurely paced, but plenty of nudity. Now, not the amazing bulbous nudity that you get in Arabella, but nudity is nudity, and there's some interesting nudity in this one. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of crotch shots that do expose certain things that you normally don't see in movies of this ilk, if you know what I mean, and I think you do. I'm gonna clam up for now. There's also a scene where there's a couple having sex, and the dude is eating the woman's, well, I'm gonna fucking say it, ass. Well, the woman's getting her ass ate, and you see it, and you're like, whoa. I mean, you don't see it, but you know what I mean. The guy's got his face there, and he's licking around. I was like, damn, he's got his tongue full of ass. Anyway, again, it continues with the theme of super sexy, sleazy movies. Very sexy, very sleazy, very boob heavy. Not as kill heavy as I would have liked. The story kind of meanders a little bit. It's not 100% my favorite, but it's not 100% the worst thing I've ever seen either. I liked it. I don't know that I would ever revisit it. Again, the movie is sleazy to the point that even the killer's murder weapon, not really a spoiler, but the killer's murder weapon, well, I'll say it's dick-shaped. So if you like bloody crotches, I mean, who doesn't? This is the movie for you. Let's talk about the plot real briefly. Timid and reserved, though mildly psychotic, Ursula and her lusty sister Dagmar, along with Dagmar's drug-dealing friend Filippo, have arrived at a beautiful seaside hotel in order to locate their estranged mother to complete their obligations in regards to an inheritance. But shortly after their arrival, they become embroiled in a web of terror as a black-clad mystery assailant begins murdering other guests with a most unusual weapon. 3 stars. I'm going to give The Sister of Ursula 3 stars. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it, and maybe I'd rewatch it, but it certainly doesn't have a lot of the fun elements that I enjoyed from Arabella. The titillating aspects are certainly here. Some go further than normal. But the kills here are unfortunately almost all off camera, which is kind of disappointing. You sort of see the aftermath and stuff like that, especially because they don't want to reveal the murder weapon. But you get a couple, I think 1, maybe 2 kills on camera, and then it's just sort of like you see someone look, and then it cuts to like them dead somewhere. So it's a little disappointing when it comes to the kill stuff. The story here is really draggy, even though it's a short-ish movie, about 90 minutes or so. But overall, I think it's a satisfying movie, and it's definitely a 3-star movie, and I would say it's worth a watch at least one time. Let's talk about the last film in this box set, which is The Killer Is Still Among Us. Christiana is a college student who is studying criminology. After becoming intrigued by a vicious murder and mutilation of a young couple on a secluded lover's lane, Christiana begins her own investigation into the slayings. As she gathers clues that she hopes might lead to the killer's identity, she begins to find strange parallels between her unassuming boyfriend. And when the killer strikes again, Christiana becomes increasingly afraid that she is, in fact, living with a depraved sex killer. This is another sexy, sleazy movie, but it's also light on kills, which is unfortunate. Now, there's 2 things I want to mention about this movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will mention 2 elements. While this is the lesser in the box set, it features the best, the craziest, most insane, most disgusting kill in the entire box set. Probably in all of Forgotten Gialli box set history. The most insane kill scene ever. Disgustingly crazy stuff. I'm not going to say what it is, but it happens way at the end of this movie, and it makes you think twice about the whole movie. Like, wait, what the fuck? That's what the killer did? Why did we not see that before? Because the movie is pretty slow and almost to a detriment. Its pace is quite sluggish. And I wish if the pace had picked up, this probably would have been a masterwork. But because of its slowness, compacted with the fact that it has such an insane kill scene, it almost doesn't connect. It's almost like they're two different movies. Maybe all the kill stuff was kind of cut out. Maybe there's a version that has more graphic situations in it, but we don't really get to see that. Another thing I want to mention real quick is that this is a movie that gives you major blue balls. Major blue balls. Basically, it leaves you hanging, for better or worse. And to the point that I was so mad at the movie, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What kind of ending is that? That I had to turn on Rachel Nesbitt's commentary, which I do recommend, to find out what the fuck was happening, why the movie ended that way. And then it turns out that this is based on the true murder case of a serial killer known as the Monster of Florence. This was a guy, I don't know too much about it, but this was a guy who would, I guess, go around terrorizing Italy, Lover's Lane type people. So he was kind of like a Son of Sam. As a matter of fact, the movie begins with a Son of Sam type killing, or Zodiac type killing, I should say. Overall, I've seen worse, certainly when it comes to Forgotten Gialli. I think you'll enjoy it, but certainly a one-time watch, as far as I am concerned. I can't go any higher than 2 stars, for The Killer is Still Among Us. I do like the fact that the movie sort of left up in the air only when I realized that it's referencing a real event, and the title, of course, The Killer is Still Among Us, remains a frightening reminder to be wary of the person next to you, because they could potentially be a vagina murderer, which is, very possible nowadays. 2 stars for The Killer is Still Among Us. Overall box set rating, something I haven't done before. I'm going to give this one 3 stars. This is probably my favorite of the box sets released from Vinegar Syndrome in terms of the Forgotten Gialli box sets. Only because, I'm going to put on my pervert hat for a moment here, because the tits are so good. So much great nudity in these movies that, honestly, without that, these would be shit. But because the girls are so beautiful, and there's a lot of wonderful flesh on display, and there's a couple of really great kill sequences throughout, it really stands out for me over all the other movies coming from Vinegar Syndrome in terms of Forgotten Gialli distinctions. So 3 stars for this box set. Can I recommend it? If you like Giallis, you're going to get it anyway. So whatever I say doesn't matter. If you're not a fan of Giallis, nah, don't worry. It's not worth the price. See if you can find it on Amazon. I would say Arabella Black Angel definitely is a must-watch over all the other ones. That's the one I would recommend the most. Then Sister of Ursula, because it's got a couple of crazy sequences in there that I think you will enjoy. Do you need the box set?
Hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no.
Well, that'll do, pal. Time to call it a day. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Master Chaos TV. I love you very much. I hope this video has found you well. Now remember, even though we may not agree, it doesn't mean we can't be friends. It doesn't mean we can't be pleasant and civil to each other. So please, leave me your comments down below. Did you like this box set? Did you hate this box set? Are you excited to get it now? Are you less excited to get it now? I'm curious as always. And do me a favor, subscribe if you haven't already. That means you and I get to hang out again. And like I always say, and like it's always true, it's an honor and a pleasure to spend some time with you. So let's do it again. For now, signing off.